Good evening and welcome again to MG Sports' live coverage, the Jamaican Premier League. And of course, I'm John Stewart and we have BAM Sports.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Welcome to MG Sports TV. Tonight's encounter promises to be an enthralling one, and John will be giving you the introduction in short order. We'll go through the starting lineups, starting with the away team, Harbour Football Club. They will go in goal, number 1, Garwin Davis. Number 16, Garth Stewart. Number 12, Gavin Burton. Number 18, Roger Zimenez. Number 19, Luca Kong. 26, Rashawn Oldfield. 23, Dante Mullins. 34, Alonzo Peart. He's a new signee from Treasure Beach. He played over there for a few games. Also played some football overseas in Slovenia. Number 9, Rowan Brown. Number 10, Trayvon Reed. And number 7, Akwasa Chung. That's the Harbourview lineup. While for Arnett Gardens, in goal, number 55, Anthony Bennett. Number 16, Ricardo Thomas. Number 3, Shane Watson. Number 6, Joel Jones. Number 27, Shakita Wizard. Number 8, Marlon Martin. Number 11, Shay Smith. Number 21, Jeremy Nelson. Number 18, Jaime Thomas. Number 13, Captain Fabian Reed. And number 10, Rashiki Kelson.
And speaking of Rashiki Kelson, he's been a man in form this season. Been, of course, Arnett Gardens' top scorer with 7 goals, I believe, so far. What do you make of his performances so far this season?
Yeah, Kelson is one of those players that whenever he has a good game, Arnett Gardens tend to really play well. Saw that in the last game here against Cavalier, he really bossed the middle of the park, and you know, he has been a good player for Arnett Gardens for the last few seasons. Really has settled into the reign of the Jamaica Premier League and is now a mainstay in this Arnett Gardens team. As we see, the teams are about to make their entrance for tonight's encounter. So we'll pause and allow the players to enter the pitch.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the playing of the national anthem.
Yeah, so as we see the teams greet each other, this probably is the only time these two teams will be friendly for the next 90 minutes. Yep, so Harbourview, Rowan Brown, he's their leading goal scorer. So far this season, Rowan Brown has been in the Jamaica Premier League for a while. Played mostly for Dumby Holding Football Club. Made the switch to Harbourview a few seasons ago. And 8 goals this season so far. And he's really the person they look to for goals along with Trayvon Reed. Interesting to see Luca Kong back in this team. Vassarena is taking over and bringing in Luca Kong. And also Alonzo Peart. Looking forward to seeing him making his debut today. And this game, a few familiar faces. Anthony Bennett in the Arnett Gardens goal. He once played for Harbourview, actually won the Jamaica Premier League with Harbourview in 2022. So it should be a very interesting encounter. Rashiki Kelson, he's also one of those players that, like John was saying, leading man for Arnett Gardens. And once he has a good game tonight, the Junglists do expect to dominate this encounter. As we see the referees come to the middle of the park. Stefan Duar, FIFA referee, complete FIFA quartet for tonight's encounter. John, how do you think this one will play out?
If I had to give a prediction, if that's what you're asking, I would probably lean towards Arnett Gardens. They're higher up in the table, and as we can see on the table, they're currently the second leading goal scorers. They have a bunch of firepower up front, of course, as we talked about before, Rashiki Kelson, but also, of course, the veteran, the savvy 34-year-old Fabian Reed, who always somehow manages to score goals every season. And I just figure they're more a balanced attack, whereas we look at Harbourview, if Trayvon Reed, who's also been excellent this season, or, as we touched on before, Rowan Brown, if either of those two don't have a good game or score, they tend to struggle. So I just feel like the more balanced team at the end of the day is Arnett Gardens.
Yeah, definitely those two players are the leading men for Harbour View. Akosa Chung once led the goal scoring charts in the Jamaica Premier League before going overseas at Harbour View. Went to Denmark, came back, played for Mount Pleasant, and is now back at his, what you would say, his boyhood club. Rushawn Oldfield is also one of those players who really can impact a game. Saw him do that last season for Tivoli Gardens. But definitely Harbour View will be hoping that he can come to the party tonight.
Just awaiting kickoff here. And we're underway. Play starts with Trayvon looking for Rowan Brown, unable to find him. And now Arnett Gardens can get us underway and trying to formulate an attack down this right-hand side.
Marlon Martin in possession. Gets it to Nelson, back to Martin. And that's a handball, says referee Duar against Rowan Brown. But the orange looking here as Jones gets this one over to Shea Smith, who plays it over to Ricardo Thomas. Oh, that challenge was harsh. We spoke about the feistiness in this game.
I doubt there'll be a card for that so early in the game, but trust me, we could see quite a number of those this evening.
Yeah, referee Duar usually in control of his games, and he's having a talking to with the Harbour View player, trying to ensure that we finish the game with all players on the pitch. As Watson hits this one forward, Stewart heads it out. Kong not gonna lose out on too many headers. Martin heads it back forward. Good control from Jaime Thomas, being hustled by Luca Kong, and gets a free kick.
Did well to earn that foul there. Under some duress, managed to shield his ball pretty well.
Yeah, Jaime Thomas, small fella compared to Luca Kong, and he really did well just now to keep possession of the ball. Referee pointing to the whistle. Jeremy Nelson trying to steal a few yards there. Referee Duar gets out the vanishing spray.
Arnett Gardens will of course be hoping to break the deadlock here.
3-1 wall constructed by Garwin Davis. Nelson pays it off to Kelson. And
sails over the bar, but good effort nonetheless.
His intentions are clear early. He's looking to get on the score sheet. Harbour View team started out well under new coach Vassarenas, but the last few games haven't looked like the solid defensive units we generally align with Vassarenas, but they'll be hoping for a change tonight as Davis hits this one over the halfway line.
And as you mentioned, Vassal Reynolds, it is very interesting to know that he's, as an attack here.
Bennett clears this one.
And that will be a foul, I believe.
Looks like a throw. For
throw it,
the ball was already out.
Oh, okay.
Throw to Harbour View over on the far side. Taken quickly, but possession won back by
Kelson. Doing well here to shield off those challenges. And does well to get a free kick. Help his team advance up the pitch. And decides to leave it.
Thomas plays it quickly to Kelson. Back to Shane Watson. Middle of the park to Marlon Martin. Martin. Over to Joel Jones. Jones chips it forward, looking for Shea Smith. Actually, Shaquille Wizard is going to get this one. Wizard attempted cross block by Holdfield and plays it back to Nelson. Nelson runs into trouble and Peart is going to get through. So Alonzo Peart in the action early. It's a free kick actually.
And as we just touched on Vassal Reynolds just a while ago, as I was saying, it's interesting to know that he's probably the fifth coach, I believe, in the last 2 or 3 years that they've had. A bit of turmoil for the club over the last couple of years. Bit disappointing considering they're 5-time champions and used to being near the top of the table. But what do you think has led to this recent slump for them in the last couple of years?
Get back to that after display. Benny hits it forward, but Smith missed it first time of asking, but gets onto the ball now. Shea Smith, oh, lovely work from Oldfield there to dispossess Smith. And gets it to Kong. Kong chips it over. That's a delightful pass. And run into touch. Akwasa Chong unable to take it. Luka Kong also started his Jamaica Premier League career with Arnett Gardens. So like I said, lots of familiarity on the pitch. Here's Shane Watson. Chips it over the top. Into touch for a throw. Harbourview, like you said, number of coaches the last few seasons ever since winning that Jamaica Premier League in 2022. And it hasn't really panned out for them. They'll be hoping that Reynolds can bring some stability. There's Arnett Gardens. Ball played back by Thomas. Nelson. Lots of time. Back to Joel Jones. Pressed all the time by Rowan Brown. All by himself. That effort. Watson coming forward. Watson. Other Thomas wing. Right to Kelson. That's a sequence of play. Here is Kelson. Gets goal. A. Smith. Arnett Gardens will gain possession. Wizard. Back to Jones. Jones. Oh, that one is overhit. Good idea from Jones there.
Good intention.
Probably let it down. Wins it. Going forward. Avon Reed. Was looking to find Alonzo Peart. Miscontrol from Wizard.
Here's Ron.
Brown from distance.
Just narrowly went wide. That could have ended really badly for Arnett Gardens there.
Yeah, Shakira Wizard. Miscontrol it. Alonzo Peart. Cracked it quickly. Ron Brown. Tell why he's going for Harbourview. Got a whisk and was ready to get a shot off. Corner to Harbourview. 5 players committed inside the box. Comes over to the near post, headed out by Arnett Gardens. Gets a second attempt, swings it to the back post. Header there, and Shea Smith will come away with it. Oh, he was taken down by Peart. Referee Duar. A little lenient there, I think.
I believe some of the fans are beckoning for a yellow card for that foul on Shea Smith.
Yeah, he didn't seem to make any attempt to play the ball there. As Jones hits one forward, looking for Smith, heads it on, but Oldfield wins it. He's being shot by Fabian Reed. Oldfield over the top for Rowan Brown. That's not a bad pass, but Shane Watson came over.
They're really looking to utilize Brown's pace in behind early on.
Yeah, Rowan Brown is a pacey player, and the intention from Harbourview is clear. Once they have the space, they're going to allow him to get into a foot race.
All it takes is one opportunity for him to get and just put one of those away.
As we see a breaking play here, Shea Smith gets a harsh challenge. Back up. Ready to go. Oldfield to Luca Kong. Plays it back to Burton. Burton over the top. Looking for Chong. Gets it to him. Good control. Chong. Brown. Oh, he was trying to sell a dummy there. Possession one back. Here is Rowan Brown. Streaming forward. Intercepted by Shane Watson. Nelson. Over to Smith. Lovely work from Shea Smith. Trying to sprint Fabian Reed, but Davis clears it. Gets it to Chong. Plays it to Mullins in the end. And Luca Kong. Garth Stewart comes forward. Stewart. Here's Rowan Brown. Gets it over to
Trayvon
Reed. Over to Chong. Harbour View. In possession. Back to Mullins. Here he's inside the box. Looking for a shot. Blocked.
could have even taken it first time.
Yeah, probably should have done that. Kelson. Over to Fabian Reed. And veteran, utilizing his experience there. Gets it to Jaheim Thomas. Ball over to Shea Smith.
Could have been obstructed, but to no avail.
That was a lovely sequence of play from Arnett Gardens.
Arnett Gardens in the ascendancy here. They've looked to have the better of the run of play so far, but still yet to make it count.
Get it out. Mullins into the middle of the park. Wins it at some time. Gets it to Rowan Brown. Plays it off to Reed. Reed looking for a free kick. And referee Duar says there was no advantage. Part of the play back. It's a free kick to Harbour View. Is their way out. Not sure they'll go direct on goal from this distance. Trayvon Reed is a dead ball specialist, if you would say.
Also have Chung over it, and he's a possibility as well.
I reckon Reed is gonna go for this one. Trayvon Reed. Oh, that was a brilliant attempt.
Great effort, but a disappointing follow-up there.
End from Garth Stewart. That was a magnificent strike from Trayvon Reed. Jeremy Nelson now, Arnett Gardens on the counter-attack. Gets it over to Kelson. This is where he's dangerous.
Yes,
Kelson.
Thomas sprinting, but decided not to use him. And goes for it alone and goes over the bar.
That was a magnificent effort. We were thinking he was not going to go at goal for that one. But Trayvon Reed, he absolutely smacked that one.
The keeper knew nothing about it. Almost ricocheted off him and into the net.
Well, they used to be teammates at one stage, so I'm sure he knows the talent he possesses. As Luca Kong with a good tackle there gets the ball over to Oldfield. Oldfield moves fast, Wizard. Here is Oldfield into the box. Shot. Blocked. And Nelson win possession. Arnett Gardens looking to come on the counter attack. Gets the ball over to Fabian Reed. He has some time. Chips it over looking for Kelson. That's a good ball. Good control from Kelson. Kelson to the back post. Cleared by Garth Stewart. And then only as far as Jeremy Nelson. Nelson to Thomas. Gets it back to Kelson. Arnett Gardens looking for a response. Gets it back on top to Thomas. Lovely work. Shot. And Fabian Reed is all by himself. And that's the goal for the veteran.
7th goal of the season for Fabian Reed, and that's as easy as he'll ever get it. Brilliant work there by the triumvirate of Kelson, Jaime Thomas, and I believe that was, I think, Nelson, working beautifully over there on that left-hand side to set up that tap-in for Fabian Reed.
That combination, Rashiki Kelson, Fabian Reed, and ended with a ball in the box. Harbourview couldn't deal with it, and the veteran in the end was all by himself. He probably could have walked that one into goal.
You could also make the argument that Garwin Davis in goal for Harbourview probably could have done better with that one. But nonetheless, Arnett Gardens take the lead here. They've perhaps been the better team so far and have a deserved lead. And play starts.
Davis. Looking back at that play, he probably would have wanted to have handled that ball a little better. And long ball over the top. And it will fall harmless to Anthony Bennett.
It's interesting you mentioned before the start of the game the defensive frailties of Harbourview, and that's been on display so far already. But they've been one of the worst defensive teams in the league. What would you attribute that to so far?
I think they've just not been good enough. I mean, in this Premier League, you really have to work your socks off in terms of your defensive display. Vassar Reynolds. I mean,
Shea Smith has room here. Decides to cross, but not with enough accuracy to find Fabian Reed.
That was a poor attempt from Shea Smith. He certainly has a lot more quality than that. Wizard gets it to Thomas, who gets infringement. And Peart is going to get a talking to from referee Door. Harbourview, they have been in some high-scoring games. Ended a 4-4 game with Montego Bay United. So that really does show that defensively they need to do some work.
That game was quite an exciting one. A number of times Montego Bay United looked to have it, but deep into the game they just blew the lead.
So Ricardo Thomas has shot it over to this side, gets this one across, headed out by Garth Stewart, only as far as Wizard. Thomas back in the action, heads it forward, another header on. Fabian Reed plays it to, looks like
Jaime
Thomas. He's been hounded by Oldfield. Thomas frees himself, and his attempted pass was blocked by Rowan Brown, who comes all the way back. So putting a defensive shift. Wizard throws this to Thomas. Wizard gets it back across, headed out by, looks like
poor
Burton.
Connection there. Well, a lack of one from Marlon Martin.
Thomas gets it to Shea Smith, who being hounded. Kelson in possession now, looking to get this one across. Kelson gets this one to the near post, header on.
Shea Smith did well to just contort his body to get that header off, but not able to get it on target, unfortunately.
Yeah, direction lacking there, but Arnett Gardens really looking crisp in the attacking third. And Harbourview struggling a bit to keep pace. Here, Coach Vassar Reynolds over there with the instructions. Davis hits it forward. Nelson controls it, gives it to Burton. Here is Peart over on the far side. Alonzo Peart inside, gets it to Burton. Out to Holyfield. Holyfield here's this one across, but headed out by Jones. Good work, but only as far as Luka Kong. Akwasa Chong in possession, comes inside. Oh, good skill there by Chong, still in possession. Looking for a kick, nothing, says the referee. Rowan Brown gets there and it's a shot off, but didn't get the technique correct there. Goes into touch for a goal kick. Arnett Gardens have been the more dominant team, but end-to-end action, good football being played thus far in terms of competitiveness.
Definitely been a interesting encounter so far, to say the least.
Bennett hits this one forward.
Wizard looks to have got the final touch, and the linesman agrees and awards a throw-in the other way to Harbourview.
Shea Smith tried to steal a throw there.
Oldfield taking the shorter option there using Trayvon Reed.
Reed. Oh,
We could hear that one from here.
Nelson swung under the boots of Reed. Gets a free kick.
Some dangerous challenges flying in.
Jones hits this one forward. Headed out by Burton to Kong. Luca Kong moves past Jaime Thomas. Nelson for company. Knocks it into touch. Good defensive work from Jeremy Nelson there. Reynolds. Throw taken quickly. Rowan Brown. All by himself. Does well to keep possession. Gets the ball on top to Luca Kong, who
Looking for Chung there, but unable to find him.
Joel Jones clears it. Two Harbourview players not communicating. Fabian Reed gets it to Shea Smith, but Oldfield plays it over to Peart. Peart back to Oldfield. Gets it to Reed. Trayvon Reed moves inside and gets a free kick.
And he has another chance to right his wrong from previously when he hit that free kick against the upright. He'll be looking to score this time, hopefully to level the scores for Harbourview.
This is a dangerous territory to give up a free kick, especially when you're playing against a player like Trayvon Reed.
Definitely has the quality as he's shown before.
Those in the stands should take their phones out. If Trayvon Reed gets a good connection, this is going to be a goal. But Anthony Bennett did well on the first occasion to push it onto the post. And he's now constructing a five-man wall here. Fabian Reed coming back, so all the Arnett Gardens players back to defend this one. Chung is there, but he's just for show, as I'm sure Trayvon Reed will be hitting this one. Reed.
Bennett seems to be pleased with his wall now.
6 men in the wall.
But will it be enough to stop Reed? That's the question.
Reed. Reed!
Looks to have taken a deflection out for a corner kick.
Yeah, he went to the side. He went to the side that goalkeeper was trying to trick him there. But corner for Harbourview. Referee Duar not happy with something. Getting it sorted out now. Gives the go ahead. Ball swung over to the back post. Brown controls it. Lovely take from Brown. Chips it back to Stewart. Heads it back inside, but
cleared by Joel Jones there. And that will be another throw in to Harbourview, who are looking themselves to get back into the game. And if it's one thing we know about them, they can score goals. So they definitely have confidence that they can get something out of this match.
Ball thrown inside. Lovely control by Trayvon Reed, but ran out of real estate. Throw taken quickly. Shane Watson hits it forward. Fabian Reed. The Wizard who thrust over the top looking for Shea Smith. But Goldfield will get there and hits it forward. Jones heads it into touch for a throw. Goldfield gets it to Reed.
Shouts.
Sorry, calls the play back and says Watson illegally nudged Trayvon Reed just now. Free kick to Harbour View. Reed chips this one over, headed on by Rowan Brown, but into touch for a goal kick. Bennett. Forward. In for Shea Smith. Heads it on to Fabian Reed. Good. Reed. Already on the score sheet. Back to Marlon Martin. Over to Watson. Watson gets it to Thomas, but he
Poor
miscontrols
control
it.
there.
Akwasa Chang looking to get Trayvon Reed involved. Reed gets possession of it. Being hustled by Shane Watson. Trayvon Reed into turn on the skills, but lovely work from Watson there to just intercept it. Ball still in play. Chang, oh. Watson to Thomas. Joel Jones. Jones. It's a diagonal ball. Looking for Kelson. That's a delightful ball.
Great
Good
take
control
as
by
well.
Kelson.
Slowing down, waiting for his teammates. Trying to find Thomas, but the pass just wasn't on.
Good idea. Last match day against Cavalier, those two did some lovely work to produce a third goal. Kelson waited on Thomas to move past him, and Thomas in a good cross inside. They definitely have that combination going for them. Here is Kelson. Gets it to Marlon Martin. Martin pass to Shea Smith. Smith attempted a shot on goal there, but was blocked. Jones in his possession. Over to Thomas. To Kelson. Inside. Kong wins it. But Jeremy Nelson will regain possession. Gets it over to Wizard. Wizard to Shea Smith. Smith. Into trying to tee up Kelson there.
Just
Good
seems
idea.
at the moment that both teams are having some trouble finding the right pass in the final third.
Yeah.
Just lacking that final bit of quality needed there. Here's Nelson to Reed. Oh, looking to provide that quality to Smith. Thomas to Kelson.
Kelson! Reflected out for a corner.
Lovely bit of work there. Started by that inventive back heel by Fabian Reed. The veteran really, despite not really moving as quickly as the other players, showing his intelligence there. Showing off all his years of experience. Of course, number 16, Ricardo Thomas, will go across to take this one.
Thomas wants a good delivery. Gets it to the near post. Header there. Blocked.
Diving header, it seems, by Thomas, but blocked. Reed doing well to hold up the play, but loses it eventually.
Here is Thomas.
Gart Stewart there is absolutely livid with his teammates. And rightfully so. He had a lot of time and space there, Thomas, to attempt that shot. Harbourview could find themselves 2 goals down here if they don't shape up defensively. Pilson with a cross into the box, and that gets cleared pretty comfortably. And here's Peart. Has time and space to come forward now. Looks for Trayvon Reed, but Watson beats him to the ball. Kong went into it 2-footed there. Thankfully, no one was hurt. And again, long ball launched over the top. Finds Kelson. Brilliant ball there. That's cleared valiantly by Harbourview. Peart losing out on the header there to Marlon Martin, but nothing comes of that attack from Arnett Gardens, and Harbourview can regroup. Marlon Martin has had a number of those lobbed passes, diagonal passes over to Rashiki Kelson, and they've been on the money every single time. Those two seem to have a telepathic connection, it seems. Here's Thomas. Peart can attack the defense now. Joel Jones backed off for some reason, but good defensive work here. But is it? Eventually, Pierce loses out. It seemed at one point that he had Ricardo Thomas beat, but great recovery there. Ooh, and that seems to be a pretty
Nelson is going into the book.
challenge. And the yellow card for his tackle there. Nelson assisting.
Was a reckless challenge from Jeremy Nelson and absolutely deserved that yellow card. I mean, it's in the half of Harbourview. There was no threat of a real dangerous attack there. Didn't need to make that tackle. And gone into the book unnecessarily, I think.
Almost seemed malicious at that. Although I wager he'd say otherwise.
So Reed wins another free kick.
Reed over this free kick. Seems he's still instructing his teammates as to their positioning. I have to say that was a poor ball, but somehow almost still made its way to Rowan Brown. Does eventually claim it. Back to Reed. Could have been fouled there by Reed, but referee says play on. There's Marlon Martin. Finds the ball to Thomas. It's fouled there by Oldfield. Arnett Gardens doing really well to ward off the attacks that are coming down this left-hand side from Harbourview. Finding no joy in the wings tonight. Here's Wizard to Thomas.
Second portion of the evening.
Joel Jones. Dangerous ball there. Intercepted by Reed, but thankfully had enough pace on it for Bennett to come for it and clear up field. Garth Stewart. Not sure who is looking for there, but Harbourview reclaim possession with Ron Brown. Industrious tonight. And there's Trayvon Reed. Offside. Kong gets it back. But again, final pass just not accurate enough. Could not find Reed. And Wizard. Now Martin can come forward with Arnett Gardens. Now here's Thomas. Has space and time. Finds Kelson on that left-hand side. Tries to cut in. Tries to beat number 18, Raji. Unable to do so, however.
Yeah, good work there from Rajay Ziminis on that occasion. Former Kingston College monitor player. Stepping up to the Jamaica Premier League and showing his quality.
A number of youngsters out here tonight. They've acquitted themselves pretty well, I'd say. Shea Smith. Dealt well. Oh! I was about to say that was dealt well with by Oldfield, but no. Fabian Reed hammers home his 8th of the season and his 2nd of the game, and that's 2 goals to the good for Arnett Garden.
That was a thunderous strike from the veteran. Fabian Reed really showed his years of experience and ability and quality on that occasion. That was absolutely brilliant.
Good technique on that volley there. As we look back at the replay, you see that cross coming in towards Shea Smith. I really thought that Oldfield was about to clear that one, but unfortunately for him, it bounced to the wrong man. And of course, for Arnett Gardens, it's the right man. It's the man in form, Fabian Reed, with his 2nd goal of the night. And as I said before, 8th of the season. Does not seem to age, this man.
I actually thought that Garwin Davis could have done a little better there in terms of coming for that ball. It's almost in his 6-yard box, and he hesitated and gave Shea Smith the opportunity to challenge. And in the box, aerial duels, Oldfield was never going to win that one.
To be fair, could argue that Davis has been at fault for both goals. As we can remember, the first goal came as a result of him spilling a shot into the path of Fabian Reed. Harbourview will definitely be looking at stuff like that in training, really seeking to improve the handling of Garwin there. Now Arnett Gardens can break, finds Fabian Reed over the top, could be offside, but linesman says no. Trying to get away from Garth Stewart, but the lanky defender makes his recovery, and Shea Smith ultimately falls Oldfield, and that will be a free kick to Harbourview. Wasted opportunity there for a potential hat-trick in the first half.
Yeah, Fabian Reed wasn't going to win a foot race ahead of Garth Stewart, to be fair. And Stewart really did well to, get that one away. These two teams met in the first round. The game actually ended 5-2 in favor of Arnett Gardens. So that tells you that goals are involved in this fixture.
Feel like Rowan Brown could have let go of that ball a bit earlier. But Harbourview will have a chance to make up for it as they have this throw now on the left-hand side with Oldfield into Kong, who, despite being on the losing end so far, must say he has put in a decent performance tonight. Ball for Trayvon Reed. Cross cut out there. And unfortunately, I think the situational awareness there from number 23 on Harbourview was not up to par. That, of course, is Dante Mullins. Really should have been more aware that his teammate was offside. But Arnett Gardens won't mind, and they're now on the attack. Shea Smith trying a little reverse pass there for Jaime Thomas, but Kong will easily deal with that. Alonso Peart finds Chong in field. Rowan Brown going for it from distance, but quite some way wide. But you can't fault him for trying, given the lack of opportunities tonight for Harbourview.
Can't fault him for trying, but the less said about that effort, the better.
Chong finds Reed. Dangerous position. That curls wide. Didn't have enough height or accuracy on that one.
Good idea from Trayvon Reed. So, high up that far corner. Thought Bennett had it covered.
Harbourview just opting to take a bit more shots from distance as we approach the end of the first half. It's Thomas. 7 minutes of regular time to go in this one. Thomas gets it back from Jeremy Nelson. Out wide to Shadiko Wizard. Back to Nelson. Arnett Gardens, of course, in no rush. 2 goals to the good. So there's absolutely no pressure for them to get a goal.
And they're just showing their dominance by just knocking the ball around, and without much pressure from Harbourview, who have all their players back in their half.
And here's Rashiki Kilson popping up all over the pitch. Here he's on the right-hand side. On a brilliant run by Rashiki. But unfortunately, the ball touched him and I don't think he wanted it to. And he ends up fouling Ruka Kong.
That was a good pass from Joel Jones. Just the run off. Kelson wasn't that accurate.
Good turn there by Chong. As Mullins opts not to use him, but still wins a free kick nonetheless.
Arnett Gardens players, I'm not sure what they're complaining about, because that was a foul.
Clear as day.
Ricardo Thomas, he always thinks there's nothing doing when he's involved. Harbourview would love to get a goal back at this stage to make this contest interesting going into the halftime break.
Will of course be aiming for the head of Stewart, who was unable to make a connection there, and that sails wide.
That was not a bad ball. Just felt his teammates weren't on the same wavelength as him.
Fortunately. Seems Smith and Hilson have switched wings here.
Fabian Reed has been playing off those flick-on balls from Shea Smith.
Good little connection between the two. Of course, he'll be hoping for more of those passes.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Constitution has indicated minimum 2 minutes to be added to the first half. Standing Gardens 2, Harbour View nil.
So, 2 minutes of stoppages to be played for the first half.
Arthur Thomas's free kick cleared there. Shiki Kilson gets it back. Gets it out wide to Jeremy Nelson. Garth Stewart there does really well to get that clear for a throw. As we approach the end of the half, what do you make of the two teams' performances so far?
Arnett Gardens, this wait on this attack to complete.
Oh, brilliantly worked attack there by Arnett Gardens, but right back Wizard unable to display the same class in front of goal that his veteran counterpart Fabian Reed has shown so far tonight.
Yeah, that was good sequence of play. Actually, I think both teams aren't too far apart. Just think that Arnett Gardens have just been better in the attacking third. Harbour View have gotten a few look-ins, but haven't been clinical, I would say. And Garwin Davis hasn't been quite as assured as we'd want him to be, as Nelson wins a free kick.
As you mentioned, two very costly errors. And the referee blows for halftime. And those two errors seems to be the difference in the game. As Fabian Reed has both goals for Arnett Gardens. They lead this encounter 2-0.
Yeah, Fabian Reed, the difference between the teams. First goal, he was never going to miss that one. He was all by himself at the back post. The second one, a thumping shot from inside the area. And that's Fabian Reed for you. Whenever there are loose balls in the box and he's around, he's going to make you pay. And he certainly has made Harbour View paid. On the other hand, Harbour View could take heart from the fact that they were competitive for most parts of the game, just unable to get the product successful in the final third. Vassar Reynolds, he will not be pleased with the fact that he has conceded 2 goals in the first half. Like I said, in the first round, these two teams came in the 5-2 in favor of Arnett Gardens, so you expect an open, free-flowing game, and that's what the fans have been treated.
Welcome back to MG Sports' live coverage of the Jamaican Premier League. An encounter between Harbour View and Arnett Gardens here at the Anthony Spalding Sports Complex, where, as we resume the second half, Arnett Gardens, of course, lead 2-0 thanks to a double brace from the 34-year-old Fabian Reed. Of course, both goals coming because of some costly errors from Garwin Davis in goal, but we look now to resume the second half and we're underway.
Yep, Fabian Reed gets us on the way, gets this one back to Nelson, plays it forward, but Stewart wins it, streaming forward is guard Stewart, looks to get Chung involved, but Thomas wins it, plays it over to Fabian Reed. Reed gets it forward to Kelson. Oh, he was offside. He's offside. He doesn't know it yet, but he's offside. Yeah, Kelsey wasn't aware, but Fabian Reed trying to turn provider for Kelson. Not successful on that occasion. Kelson raking it run a little bit too early. Davis to Burton. Davis now swings it forward looking for Rowan Brown. Not the cleanest control, but he gets it to Chung. Arnett Gardens player down. Chung over the top, looking for Alonzo Peart. And Peart was bundled over. MG Sports wants to practice his coaching badges. So Marlon Martin was down, injured. He was looking for a call, but he wasn't having it. And on the far side, Peart wins the free kick. Oldfield is there. Gonna be swinging this one in his rush on Oldfield. Is it short to Luca Kong. Kong gets it over the top, looking for Chung, but Thomas gets there first. High boot by Kelson, but referee allows it. Chung over the top to Trayvon Reed. That's a good pass. Reed is inside, but good work from the Arnett Gardens player there, but Oldfield swings this one out for a goal kick. Bennett. Watson forward, but headed out by Jimenez. Kelson going forward. Kelson looking to find Fabian Reed, but comes inside. Oh, lovely work from Kelson. Gets a free kick. And we have a break in play as looks as if it's Burton that picked up an injury. John Kelson started back right where he left off in the first half.
This looks really dangerous as we resume the second half. Definitely picking up, as you said before, where he left off in the first half. Taking players on and winning fouls. Looks like Thomas is about to whip this one in. Chance for Arnett Garden to extend their lead to a comfortable 3-goal cushion here. Also has Kelson over it, but I wager that's more of a decoy. And Jeremy Nelson makes his way over into the box. And it is Thomas to take. And that's headed clear. It's Jones, great turn to beat Kong, but wins a corner.
So corner to Arnett Gardens. Ricardo Thomas is trotting over, not in any hurry.
Seems Kong is struggling to get up, but eventually makes his way to his feet. Still seems to be in some pain. hopefully it'll be ready by the time the corner is taken by Thomas.
Arnett Gardens have 5 players in the box. Thomas, that's a poor corner.
Unable to be
wins
the
it.
first man.
Peart is away from that challenge. Rowan Brown wins it, but gives it back to Marlon Martin, who plays it to Watson. Watson over the top, looking for Nelson. Nelson, not really blessed with pace, and that was evident. He was never going to get that, Jeremy Nelson. Jimenez throws it forward to Chung. Chung gets it to Luka Kong. Kong over the top, looking for Peart. Good controls by Peart. Lovely work from Alonzo Peart. Forward to Chung, overhit. But Mullins gets it. And Shea Smith back doing some defensive work. Knocks that one into touch for a throw to Harbour. Oldfield. Throws it to Mullins. Back to Oldfield. Oldfield chips this one over. Wizard. Exit. Kelson. And the referee says Kong won that one legally. Watson goes for the diagonal pass, looking for Shea Smith. That's not a bad ball. Smith wins it. Oldfield there. Smith is going to get a free kick now.
Practically wrestled to the ground there by Oldfield. Deservedly gets a free kick. Great job though by Smith. Jones quickly takes it, finds Kelson.
It's a delightful take from Kelson. Thomas. Wandered off. Mullins. Gets it to Peart. Luka Kong. Turns. Good turn from Kong. Over the top. That's a good ball to Akwasa Chung. Rowan Brown beside him. Plays him through. Brown looking to get on his favorite right foot. Rowan Brown easily moves. And that's a good attempt from Trayvon Reed. Good save as well from Anthony Bennett. That was going in.
Thankfully, Bennett was equal to that shot.
Corner to Harbour taken quickly. Reed back to Chung. Chung opted for the pass to Oldfield. Blocked by Watson. Jimenez. Oh, he went in there. If he had made any contact with an Arnett Gardens player, he would have been off the pitch. Roger Jimenez. Ball played through, but Thomas wins it. Plays it to Kelson. Kelson has Burton for company. Kelson gets it to Fabian Reed. Reed dispossessed by Mullins. Mullins looking to find Peart, but finds Wizard instead. Nelson. Martin. Possession won back by Harbour. Luka Kong. Over to Peart. Peart to Reed. Back to Peart. That's a good attempt. And Peart's shot was blocked.
I think the heavy touch took him into Watson there. An opportunity to go for goal, but thwarted. Harbour have a corner kick instead.
Trayvon Reed gets this one to the 6-yard box. Head on goal by Luka Kong, but good save. Smart save there by Anthony Bennett.
Not enough contact, however, on that header to really trouble the goalkeeper.
Here is Thomas. Gets it to Kelson. Bit wayward, but Kelson fixed it. Kelson comes inside. Gets it over to Martin. Martin to Shea Smith. Smith back to Martin. Lovely pass over to Wizard. Wizard with the one-time pass inside. Cleared by Gavin Burton. End-to-end action here at the Anthony Spaulding Sports Complex. Arnett Gardens once again looking very crisp in the attacking zone. Nelson back to Wizard. And Spirit blocks this one for a throw.
Throughout the course of this game, they've had some beautiful passages of play, Arnett Gardens.
Definitely. Here is Nelson looking to set up Fabian Reed. He was disappointed with that pass.
Decides to boot it out the stadium.
Stewart gets it forward looking for Reed, but not winning that over Joel Jones. Mullins loses possession. Martin to Nelson. Nelson to Shea Smith. Smith one-time pass over to Kelson. That's a good pass, but Kelson in an offside position. And Harbourview will look to start now. Garwin Davis gets it out to Guard Stewart. Actually, that's Gavin Burton who plays it to Guard Stewart. Finds Luca Kong. Kong robbed of possession. Fabian Reed now. Oh, he was trying to tee up Thomas. Thomas not happy with the pass from Reed. Rowan Brown now for Harbourview. Oldfield. Robbed of possession by Shea Smith. Gets it to Nelson. Over to Ricardo Thomas. Oh, heavy touch. Chung has some time. Coming forward now, Akwasa Chung. Streaming forward. Oh, he was trying to play through Reed. Here is Here, over to Trayvon Reed, waiting for Zimini. Zimini's into the box. Gets it across, blocked by Joel Jones. Trayvon Reed. The clash of the tens. And he was pulled back by Kelson. Kelson couldn't bother to go around Reed. He just pulled him back. Another free kick to Harbourview. They have committed a few players forward. Reed chips it to the back post, but Bennett comfortable handles that. This one goes for the diagonal pass, but that was wayward. Jimenez sent back by referee Duarte. Luca Kong wanted a early pass from through there from Jimenez as Oldfield hits this one forward. Trayvon Reed, good control, appealing for a handball. Nothing says referee Duarte. Headed back out by Jimenez. Only as far as Jaime Thomas plays it forward to Kelson. That's a good pass. Here is Burton. And Kelson had a little bit more time than he thought. That one was blocked by the face of Gavin Burton.
Just a while ago, we saw Kong and his teammate getting into it. Just asking his teammates to trust him more, to get him that ball in the middle of the park to alleviate some pressure.
Yeah, Luca Kong wanted that pass back through taken quickly by Jimenez, but Jimenez had different ideas as Thomas about to swing this corner in. Thomas to the back post. Davis comes, misses. Referee says handball.
And again, almost another costly error there by Davis. Not as
Davis hasn't looked assured in this goal at all tonight. Headed down by Rowan Brown, but intercepted by Shane Watson. Akwasa Chung at some pace. Chung moving forward and looking for a free kick. Nothing, says referee. Martin trying to play through Kelson, but Peart the ball away. Oh, that was neat from God Stewart. Rowan Brown attempted crop pass. Trayvon Reed has Ricardo Thomas for company. Gets it to Jimenez. Jimenez to Kong. Reed. Reed trying to conjure up something. Gets the ball to the back post. And Peart wins it. Swings it back inside. Brown. Oh, he was waiting for that to come down. But Shea Smith, lovely recovery run there to knock that one out for a corner.
Probably just beginning to put some pressure on Arnett Gardens now. Trying to desperately get back into this game. Hopefully for them, this could be the first step towards that. Seems Reed will take this corner.
Trayvon Reed wants to spin this one in himself. And Martin chips it over the top. Oh, Marlon Martin there.
That chance deserved a goal. Was practically begging it, but just unfortunately just over the bar.
And Marlon Martin, as Luca Kong plays it back to Davis, who it forward one time. Won by Ricardo Thomas. Thomas gets it to Shea Smith. Back to Thomas. Nelson comes forward, but I was trying to pass that one to Fabian Reed. Mullins over the top, looking for Trayvon Reed, but Shane Watson gets there first, nods it out, and it's won by Akwasa Chung. Rowan Brown gets it over to Trayvon Reed. Reed into the box, back to Brown, appealing for a handball. Nothing, says the referee. Ball headed forward, but Harbourview will win possession. Jimenez gets it out to Trayvon Reed. Reed inside, looking for a shot, looking for a penalty. Nothing, says the referee. And Bennett will take his time and run the clock down. The medic, as we see a substitution being lined up for Harbourview. So number 7, Akwasa Chung, he's coming out. And he's being replaced by player number 21, Peyton Larmond. So that's the first substitution for Harbourview. While number 34, Alonzo Peart, he's being replaced by player number 44, Kimberly Scott.
Alonzo Peart is replaced. Alonzo Peart is replaced by number 44, Timothy. Substitution. Alonzo Peart is replaced. Alonzo Peart is replaced by substitution in the 64th minute.
My apologies, it wasn't Watson, it was rather Ricardo Thomas who suffered the knock there. Just getting some treatment on the outside of the pitch. In the meantime, Arnett Gardens will restart play without him.
Bennett holds this one out to Shane Watson. Gets it to Smith, who plays it to Fabian Reed, and Reed back to Watson. Holds the hand up.
Last year, You'll know last year. You'll know that name. Performed brilliantly in the competition. It's good to see him make the breakthrough into the first team for Harbourview.
Bennett hits this one forward. That's not a bad attempt, but Kelson, he was never gonna get that ahead of Scott Stewart. So substitution for Arnett Gardens. So number 18,
Substitution for
Shaheem Thomas.
Number 18, Shaheem Thomas. About to be replaced by player number 22.
And he's been replaced by player number 22,
Thompson.
Rasheen Thompson.
Player number 11.
Player number 11, Shea Smith. He's going to be replaced by player number 20, Diamond Clark.
Diamond. Wow. Substitution completed.
So Diamond Clark making his debut for Arnett Gardens. Started out this season with Spanish Town Police. Scored a thumping goal here versus Waterhouse. Here is Luca Kong coming forward. It out to Trayvon Reed. Reed trying to find there in the middle of the park, but not successful. Through to Harbourview. Taken quickly. Fabian Reed wins it. Nelson gets Diamond Clark involved. Clark comes inside. Gets it forward to Thompson. Thompson being back inside to Fabian Reed. Reed back to Thompson. Shot blocked by Reed. And Thompson blocks the clearance, and it's a goal kick to Harbourview. Diamond Clark onto the pitch, like I said. Making his debut for Arnett Gardens. Also played for Racing United last season of the reign of the Jamaica Premier League. Ball knocked forward, looking for Oldfield, but headed out. Possession won there by Larman. Back to Trayvon Reed. Reed to the back post. No one there in a yellow kit. Goes into touch for a goal kick.
Carter Thomas coming clear for Arnett Gardens as Kelson and uses him. Finds Nelson.
Nelson inside to Martin. Martin over to Wizard. Wizard to Kelson. Trying to tee up Diamond Clark. Wizard knocks it forward. Martin wins it. Out to Diamond Clark. Clark comes inside. Oh, he was trying to get around Oldfield there.
Perhaps a bit too fancy. I thought he had him beat the first time.
Looking for Kimberly Scott. Reed.
Brown.
That's in a dangerous area. Reed. Reed. Oh, Brown, sorry. Oh, Rowan Brown.
And perhaps if he just lifted his head up, he could have seen that the goalkeeper was off his line there.
Really should have just passed that ball to Larman. He was in a good position for it. Kelson now on the attack. Gets it in. But Nelson was challenged. Rowan Brown to Mullins. Kimberly Scott. Heavy touch from the Manning Cup champion. Kong. From distance. The less said about that, the better. He needed about 3 more goals on top of the one there now for that to have a chance. Goal kick to Arnett Gardens. Bennett gonna go for a long kick. Sends it in forward. Straight to Luca Kong though. Goes for the diagonal pass, looking for Rowan Brown, but headed out by Thomas. Jimenez trying to nutmeg Nelson. Ball falls to Larman, gets it inside. And Rowan Brown, almost. Diamond Clark with diagonal pass, delightful. Oh, little bit overhit there.
Would have needed a Zlatan-like effort to control that one from Kilson.
Kelson, a little bit too short for that. Ball played inside to Mullins. Moves past Marlon Martin. Over to Trayvon Reed. Reed gets inside the danger area. Loses it. Nelson chips it over, looking for Kelson, but Gavin Burton wins it. Plays it to Luca Kong. Kong over to Oldfield. Pastor Reynolds is livid on the Harbourview bench. Wizard heads this one out, but won by Mullins. Oh, good skill shown by Mullins there. Gets it out to Trayvon Reed. Reed looking for a free kick. Nothing, says the referee. Nelson to Kelson. Over to Fabian Reed. Reed manages to keep it in play. Gets it over to Kelson. Oh, good block there from the Harbourview player.
Brilliant ball there by Reed to get it to Kilson.
Peyton Larman has been quite involved since entering the pitch. Makes a diagonal pass over to Trayvon Reed. That's a good pass from the youngster. Reed gets it inside to Rowan Brown. Brown! With a toe poke. He
Probably the best chance he's had all night.
Probably had a little bit more time than that, John.
Definitely. And it seems Mullins, I believe, has gone down.
Seems to be suffering from some cramps, Mullins.
It's definitely been one of the standouts so far for Harbourview. Few fancy tricks and flicks here and there.
Yeah, he's been moving up and down the pitch. So, no surprise that from a few cramps. That was a glorious opportunity for Harbourview to get back in this game just now, John.
Definitely. And if their aim is to get back into this game, they'll need one of those to go in pretty soon. And of course, who else would they look to other than Ron Brown? Of course, their top scorer this season, as we mentioned before, with 8 goals.
Yeah, so definitely a man that they're looking to for some goals, along with their Trayvon Reed. Haven't gotten it right just yet, but Bennett trying for the quick restart. Diamond Clark switches with Kelson, comes over onto this left-hand side. Referee Duar says, "No, we are ready." It's hit for looking for Diamond Clark, but that's headed into touch by Jimenez. It's a few Manning Cup champions on the pitch. Nelson over to Kelson. Kelson touched outside by Davis.
Scrambled across to his left to get down to save that one. Trying to atone for the earlier mistakes.
Corner for Arnett Gardens. Looks like Ricardo Thomas over there. Plays it short to Fabian Reed. Reed.
Kelson into the box, and that's headed away by Stewart. Arnett Gardens comes clear.
Rasheen Thompson has been lively since coming on. Gets it to Nelson. Joel Jones. One time over to Ricardo Thomas. Thomas, heavy touch. Luca Kong wins it. Hits it into the path of Rowan Brown. Brown going forward. But Diamond Clark gets back behind the ball and he plays it over to Kimberly Scott. Scott coming inside. Doesn't have a lot of options, but he finds Luca Kong, who goes for a shot from distance. Deflected by Shane Watson. Corner to Harbour View. Substitution being lined up. Trayvon Reed. As we see a player from Arnett Gardens down, holding his head.
I must say, it's a bit of a surprise to see Reed being substituted here.
Substitution for Harbour View. Player number 10, Captain Trayvon Reed. About to be replaced by player number 50, Demar Rose.
As the announcer makes it official, Demar Rose to come on for Trayvon Reed, as I said before. Bit of a surprising one there.
Yeah, you don't normally see Trayvon Reed being replaced. Another player came on as well.
Must say, he had a couple of chances, but overall it wasn't his best performance.
So another substitution for Harbour View. 23, Dante Mullins. He's been replaced by player number 11, Omar Thompson. They call it cheeky.
That substitution's a bit more understandable given he just sustained a knock.
The player from Arnett Gardens being helped off the pitch. Tell you who that is in a moment. Harbour View brings this one inside, header out by Arnett Gardens. Headed back, shot there by Kimberly Scott. Bennett. Oh, that would have been a delightful pass if it didn't hit into the back of Oldfield. Arnett Gardens down to 10 men momentarily. And that player that's down is Kelson. So he's going to be replaced. So Kelson, number 10, is off.
16, Ricardo Thomas, being replaced by player number 5. Making his debut for Arnett Gardens, number 5, Romain Bowers.
So another substitution for Arnett Gardens. So Romain Bowers, player number 5, he replaces
Washington Kelson, number 10, makes replaced by player number 31, Giovanni Taylor.
So Bowers.
21, Jeremy Nelson.
So Bowers, player number 5, he replaces number 16, Ricardo Thomas. 21, Jeremy Nelson, replaced by number 7, Jamon Shepherd. And Kelson, number 10, he's replaced by number 31, Giovanni Taylor. Ricardo Thomas is hit close to the goal, seems to have sustained an injury. Romain Bowers making his debut for Arnett Gardens. And first up, he's on corner taking duties. Bowers swings this one to the near post, headed out for a corner by Garth Stewart.
And as we see the substitutions starting to come in now for Arnett Gardens, do you think they're taking their foot off the gas given that they have a 2-0 lead?
Swung in by Bowers, but run by Rowan Brown. Ball played forward by Thompson, but won by Joel Jones. Jones hits it forward. Luca Kong knocks it into touch. I wouldn't say that they've taken their feet off the gas because these players are regular first-team players in the Jamaica Premier League. Diamond Clark had an outstanding season thus far for Spanish Town Police, and Romain Bowes was excellent for Racing United before he and them parted ways, so he'll definitely be looking to make an impact this Arnett Gardens team. And Thomas came off due to an injury, so at one point Jamon Shepherd was the captain of Arnett Gardens. He also did a number of years in the Jamaica Premier League for Harbour, so I would say it's an opportunity for these players to take a claim for a starting role in this team. Arnett Gardens team looking quite competitive, I must say. These are some quality players coming off the bench. Shepherd gets this one inside, cleared by Harbour, only as far as Marlon Martin, who gets it to Giovanni Taylor. Taylor, shot on goal, easily handed by Davis. Gets it out to Oldfield. Over the top, looking for Kimberly Scott. Rowan Brown. Rose. Rose to Kong. Over to Zimenez. Zimenez, robbed by Diamond Clark. Clark comes inside, gets it over to Roshane Thompson. Thompson from distance. Absolutely disappointed from Roshane Thompson.
Few of his teammates disappointed that he didn't pass there. Definitely was an option.
Marlon Martin leaves it for Joel Jones. Jones runs into some trouble, but finds Giovanni Taylor over on the far side. Demar Rose wins it. Rose over to Larmond. He was trying to find Thompson, not successful. Bowers gets it to Watson. Chips it over, headed out by Larmond. Doesn't look out of place hitting Larmond. Lots of energy he's showing. Bowers throws it forward. Burton trying to damage our equipment here. Gavin Burton. Bowers throws it forward, headed out by Zimenez. Rose leaves it for Kong. Kong. Demar Rose. Rose goes all the way back to Davis. Davis over to Burton. Burton. Forward to Larmond, but didn't have enough real estate on that occasion. Throw to Arnett Gardens. Romain Bowes. Throws it forward looking for Diamond Clark. Rose plays it into Rowan Brown. Brown over to Kimberly Scott. Scott! Lovely skill from Scott, but just got away from him there. Throws it to Rose. Rose to Thompson. And almost got it back to Thompson there. Benny. It forward, beats Oldfield. Taylor. It to Shepherd. Shepherd from distance. Didn't miss by much. Davis now for a long kick. Ron Brown trying to win that one, but goes into touch for a throw. As we see Ricardo Thomas walking back to the bench, that's a good sign. Thompson. Forward to Kimberly Scott. All by himself. As Joel Jones for company. Scott into the box. And to get that one across by Joel Jones.
Scott showing no fear since he's come on. Looking to get past his defender at all times. And wins a corner for his efforts here.
Self and Larman. Doesn't look like it's their first game really or in the Jamaica Premier League. Larman chips this one over. Headed out by Arnett Gardens. Only as far as Oldfield. Oldfield goes for a shot. Wayward.
That's putting it lightly, my friend.
Don't want to be too hard on the players, but that was a wayward attempt from Oldfield. Bennett. This one forward. It's the ball kid instead. Diminis throws it over, headed out by Bowers. Diminis gets it to Luka Kong. Over to Oldfield. Oldfield hits it forward. Bennett handles that one easily. Holds it out to Diamond Clark. Clark. Inside to Thompson. Back to Diamond Clark. Clark. Loses out.
Clark
Down.
still down in pain.
In pain. But Harbour View continue their attack. Guard Stewart. Actually, that's Burton. Kong. Oldfield. Ron Brown. Trying to be cheeky. But Shepherd wins it. Plays with Rushane Thompson. He's trying to tee up Fabian Reed.
Perhaps wasn't aware of the veteran's age there by playing that through pass.
And Diamond Clark is down, injured. On his debut. Not a good sign. He tried to run it off. The medics have been summoned. Back to live action. Game starts to drop ball. Here is Garth Stewart. It's over to Gavin Burton. Inside to Luka Kong. Kong was trying to find Ron Brown, but Giovanni Taylor. Shane Watson clears it one time.
Ladies and gentlemen, the court official has indicated minimum 4 minutes. And it will be to have.
Burton. Forward to Thompson. Thompson.
Thursday.
Thompson
Captain Maroon.
to Ron Brown.
Here, 7:30.
Ball headed inside, but
And that's Thursday, Chapter Maroon. Again, Arnett is right here. Thursday. Reminding you that
Rose was trying to weave his way through.
Chapter Maroon, Arnett Gardens.
Good
Ball.
tracking back there by Scott.
So that's Thursday, Chapter Maroon against Arnett Gardens right here.
Ball
Thursday.
into touch by Scott. He was trying to find Demar Rose. Arnett Gardens looking set to get another clean sheet at home. Throw taken, Reed. Is it to Taylor? Taylor. Back to Reed, but Stewart wins it. Reed. Trying to get it to Taylor. Wizard. Back to Joel Jones. Back to Wizard. Middle of the park to Shepherd. Forward to Thompson. Referee plays advantage. Lovely work by Shepherd there. Shepherd. Jamon Shepherd! It was a tame attempt. Luca Kong gets it over to Rowan Brown. Gives it for Demar Rose. Rose trying to send Scott in, but he knocks it into touch for a throw. Rose. Ball intercepted. Shepherd to Fabian Reed. Rasheen Thompson. His pass forward is blocked. Rose in possession. Gets it to Rowan Brown. Jones knocks it forward. Fabian Reed gets it, and his pass eventually comes to Daniel Clark. Clark. Oh, he was trying to peer that one in, and that's a shot from Shepherd. Not on target in the end. Diamond Clark. Probably should have just played that one back to Jamon Shepherd. Burton. Hits it forward, looking for Brown. Wizard. Goes forward. Luca Kong. Showing his ability.
Fortunate to get away from Fabian Reed there, however.
Luca Kong plays it over to Ziminis. Ziminis to find Peyton there, but not successful. Bowers to Shepherd, and that's the full-time whistle. So at the end of 90 minutes, it ends Arnett Gardens 2, Harbourview 0. Courtesy of a brace from the veteran Fabian Reed.
Of course, as the announcer just made it clear, they move now from 9th to 7th and still have 2 games in hand on most teams in the table. And they will turn their attention on Wednesday to Thursday, I should say, the Chapeltown Maroons. What did you make of their performance tonight from the Junglists?
Yeah, Arnett Gardens, professional performance, I would say. Took their opportunities when they got them. Probably could have scored maybe 2 more goals, but they got 2, kept a clean sheet, and I would say that's a good day's work for them. Harbourview, on the other hand, conceding 2 goals again, unable to get on the score sheet. Must be disappointing in the camp just now. And I mean, if they could take anything from this performance, they were competitive for a point. The young players that came onto the pitch, Kimberly Scott, Peyton Larman, definitely looked the part. And that's something positive that Harbourview can build on going forward.
Definitely, but other than that, not much to take away from this game for them. Couple of costly errors, defensive lapses, and that's led to them ending up on the losing side of this game. And as we come to the conclusion of this Jamaica Premier League game between Arnett Gardens and Harbour View. We conclude and we say goodnight. Final score is Arnett Gardens 2, Harbour View 0.
Thank